Can bring unexpected effects. Listen to this.
Loveline. It's time for Loveline.
Who knows? It's going to be sex.
The crowd seems to love this.
Exclusively on Tucson's new run, 92.1 KFMA, Green Valley, Tucson. K292CM, Summer Haven. An adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised.
Now, here's Loveline. 1-800-LOVE-191. With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Are you insane?
Yes, it is. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. It's Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, our guest is 7 Mary 3. We have Jason Giddy from the band. We're just talking to the guys just a few seconds ago and figured out they're here about a year ago. And I know touring's got to be tougher than sitting around on your ass and talking into this microphone.
Just about anything is harder than that, matter of fact.
Yeah, but we have no memories. Do we, Drew?
That is true.
We can't figure out if a band is, we know them from TV, or, I mean, if it's been a month.
We're done.
We don't know if we ran into them at an MTV party. We don't know if we just saw one of their videos and think we know them. We don't know if they're on the show a year ago. We don't know if they're from the TV show and it was the first season or the third.
No. Whatever.
Do you guys, does your mind go to mush that way?
I think a couple years ago when we first started doing this, it was hard to remember things week to week, but things have kind of settled down the last couple years.
Since rehab?
Yeah.
We'll be the guy. You can remember us because today, 1 year later, we are no richer than we were a year ago. So like next year, you can be like,
I remember a conversation like that, though, last time they were here. Something about record company.
A year has gone by, and they're still no richer.
But the last record went platinum, right?
And they've only gotten uglier.
The first one did.
The first one went platinum. The last one...
Nickel.
The last one went nickel.
Right.
And this one haven't really had a chance yet.
This one doesn't, we won't be back next year.
Well, we're going to try to move a few of Orange Avenue tonight, which is the latest. And that came out in July.
Yes.
All right, so it's just it's still warm, and we'll play a few cuts of that and all that. But you guys you don't have any gigs lined up, or do you? Because I was just told you didn't have any out here at least.
We played one today, and we got one Tuesday.
Okay. All right, Ann, fire yourself, would you?
Yeah, we did the Doheny Days this afternoon.
Well, where was that?
Over in Dana Point,
Doheny Beach?
Yeah, that park.
Yeah.
And,
wow. That's the originally. So there was a hang 10, big longboard.
Yeah.
All that was originated there.
That was your scene, wasn't it?
Nearby.
You were called Scro Daddy, right? Wasn't that your nickname on the beach? Well, just because you used to wear those short shorts and the way you lounged around.
I see.
Gidget shorts.
Who else? I think, and I don't know this, but I think we've had another band that was on that bill recently. But again, this may just be my horrible memory at work here. Were other bands playing?
Royal Crown, those guys.
Royal Crown Review and Everclear.
Oh,
yeah. Well, those are our boys.
Yeah.
That must have been a pretty good gig.
It was cool.
Now, where Tuesday, so we can get that out. And after that, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll get our little affiliates list and link up the cities with the places you're going to be at. I think you probably remember the Wiggle from last time you were here.
Beauteous.
And we'll give everybody a heads up on when 7 Mary 3's coming out. Now, you guys met in William and Mary. At least I read that here. Drew, that's a junior college?
No.
That's a good college, right?
Yeah.
Where's that, Drew?
Virginia. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Drew knows all about the colleges.
Yeah, Williamsburg.
Yeah, so it's a smart band. And 7 Mary 3...
William Mary's the oldest
It is,
college in the country.
It's the oldest college in the country.
And listen, I don't care if you graduated college. The fact that you got into a college and it was prestigious is enough. And I don't know if the band or you guys graduated or not. Did you?
We did.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's even
honors.
better. Well, really?
No.
Okay. But you got in, and that shows initiative and SAT scores. And maybe a little affirmative action with Giddy. I don't know.
I was going to say, actually, my dad's, an oil dealer, so...
They're just going to choke the nation unless Giddy got into one of the nicer dorms.
That's right.
All right. So,
My
Troubadour.
son, gas prices are going up.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
You're 20.
Yes.
You're on with 7 Mary 3.
Oh, hi. I saw you guys out in Boston about a month ago. You guys are great.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask a question about piercing. I was thinking about getting my clit pierced, but I was wondering what the side effects would be.
Why didn't you ask us about that when you saw us in Boston?
Are you looking into getting the hood pierced or the actual clit?
I'm not sure. It depends on.
I guess the salient question is why.
I don't know.
Oh, and
by the way, you're not uncommon with that response. When I ask people why they had their tongue pierced, it's usually, I was bored.
Yeah. I don't have anything else pierced.
Elizabeth, there are other reasons. What's the reason?
I don't know.
You're not an empty receptacle.
Are you trying to impress somebody?
No.
Oh, and let me.
Giggle. What does that mean?
Okay, I don't know. I just do that a lot.
Boyfriend, girlfriend?
No, I have a boyfriend.
See this?
Well, a friend of mine did it, and she said it's like great.
Why?
Basically, sexually.
Why? What happens?
But I don't know. She finds that she reaches orgasm like faster and
we've heard people say this, but that then there sometimes is a loss of sensitivity that follows that.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Well, that can happen.
Well, let me say a couple things. First, I want to digress for a second. My grandmother gave me a whole big speech on it. She complained that you and I were saying clitoris when it was clitoris.
It's either way.
I know, but she's old school. You gotta understand. She's real old school.
Start with skeletal and umbilical.
Umbilical and skeletal is what you just said, and angina instead of angina. I swear to God, this is the kind of conversation I get into with my grandmother, and it's very uncomfortable. But she says, because you know how it is when your grandmother's telling you, you start talking about clitorises for too long with your grandma, she just turns into a big clitoris with like bifocals on. That's who I thought I was talking to. But she said it is clitoris. And that's what they always called it, and was pissed and surprised at you, Drew, for going with the clitoris. And she looked it up already, Drew, so don't think you're going to outsmart Granny, but go look that up. All right, here's my feeling on people that do real aggressive piercings, which is they have to say it's good after they do it, otherwise they look like assholes.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
It's very painful to get something pierced. I mean...
There's no anesthetic involved with it, which to me is... There's anesthetic involved with much lesser things. You know what I mean? Like if you get your teeth cleaned and they're doing a serious cleaning, sometimes they'll numb up your gum just so it won't be uncomfortable. But if they put a spear through the head, through your urethra and pop it out the back of your penis, no anesthetic involved with that.
Interestingly, both pronunciations are here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right, so I'll tell Grandma to shut up with the
there they are.
With the clitoris and the clitoris. All right, so Elizabeth, here's my second feeling. Whatever you do to change yourself sexually, it may be new and different at the beginning, but eventually that will just be your reality and you will settle in at that. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could stick a vibrator in my ass right now and go jogging. And for like the first mile...
Let me get the visual for a second. Hold on here. Hold on. Okay. All right.
I could put a vibrator in my ass and go jogging.
Yeah.
And the first day I did that, it'd probably be a wild sensation. I'd probably leave a trail of sperm all the way down the street. But 2 months into it, 6 months into it, 3 years into it.
You have an addictive personality, you know, then you can't jog without the vibrator.
Right.
But it's not even that.
It would just be my reality. I got a vibrator in my ass when I'm jogging. I wouldn't notice it when I left the house.
It becomes a background.
Right.
And more than that, even, that things will desensitize. I mean, your body will have to adjust to the overwhelming stuff, or the overwhelmingly sensitive areas will become less sensitive to manage it.
Right.
And that's the way this clitoral piercing works, too. And, of course, there's infection and bleeding. Those are always potential problems. So I don't get it, you know.
Call Drew old-fashioned and me too, but I don't get it. And I don't recommend putting holes in the things that you need for sex. Matt.
Yeah.
You're, what is Matt, 27?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. First question.
Are we good? I mean,
we're all right.
We've been traveling.
You've been traveling? Well, that can be tiring.
Uh-huh.
Anyways.
You think so?
My first question for you guys was, Dr. Drew, you had made a comment, I don't know, a month or so ago, I had heard you say this, that within the first 6 months after someone who smokes pot a lot within the first 6 months after quitting, there was a high rate of suicide.
High rate of suicidal thought. And
okay.
the completed suicide is not high, but it is a substantial risk. I mean, I have lost a few patients to suicide, and interestingly, they weren't.
That's just when they got the bill, though. I didn't have anything.
No,
to do with
they actually weren't people I was directly involved with, but people who I was sort of advising people on what to do with, and people don't pay enough attention to how serious these depressions can be. They can be profound.
Okay, so that was my question: is why is that? It's because of a depression?
Yeah, that the way the pot affects your brain, when people start thinking about stopping smoking when they're heavy daily smokers, it is usually because they're already getting quite depressed from the biology of the drug. It turns out when you stop the drug, it gets a lot worse.
Really?
It gets a lot worse sometimes, and it's what makes people not stop. That's why they go back to it and try and seek other solutions rather than medical care. They start experimenting with alcohol and speed and other things just to feel better.
But this is sort of a marijuana thing, right?
This is a marijuana thing only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not marijuana 3 weeks into it. This is 10 years into it.
Yeah, 5 years of heavy daily or regular daily use would do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that answers that question. My other question was, what are the negative physical side effects to cocaine use?
Okay, I think we have just in a few sentences. The most of the damage done by cocaine is the product of its vessel constricting properties. It constricts arteries, and in doing so, it can constrict them to the point that clots form in these arteries, or that the blood supply is cut off in various ways. And the most delicate arteries in the body are the ones that are really at risk: brain, heart, and kidney. So you can get strokes, intracranial bleeding, heart attacks, cardiac arrhythmias, and kidney failure.
Other than that, it's safe, though?
So if you survive the use, you're not in any danger down the line. It
doesn't have the effect on your body, let's say, alcohol or cigarettes would have,
that
which is cirrhosis of the liver, your lungs getting black or something like that. As long as you don't kick off, you're good.
Basically, you're okay. I mean, there are issues. I mean, it does affect the brain chemistry somewhat, and people can have mood instability and panic attacks that go on. And if you smoke cocaine, it can affect your airways and you get bronchitis and things. But for the most part, it's the vasoconstrictive problem.
So when you do a line of cocaine, let's just follow the cocaine through as it courses through the body and see where it stops, where its first stop is, and how it works.
Never interested you before.
You put the line of coke in front of you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of making a. I'm going to work with the Schoolhouse Rocks people. And I want to know how this thing works. So
cocaine junction function. Cocaine function junction.
That's right. Drawing up lines and freebasing.
Do you remember those guys were in here?
Yeah, they look like they'd done their fair share of blow.
That one guy.
One of the guys from Conjunction Junction, the guy who goes, Conjunction Junction, the guy
singer
with the most unique voice in there looks like he's been, like he got loaded at Monterey Pop in 1967 and still hasn't come down. Just drunk and surly, like Otis from Andy Griffith's show. All right, so you do the line of coke.
Yeah.
It goes up your nose.
Right.
All right, then what?
Into your bloodstream immediately.
I mean, it goes right in your bloodstream.
Right.
How does it get right in your bloodstream?
There's a lot of blood vessels right here at the surface of the nose.
And how does it, but no blood comes out of your nose?
No, it's absorbed through the membrane here.
All right. The whole thing, the powder?
The cocaine is.
What about the powdery part?
Yeah, some of it, the whole thing basically dissolves.
All right, so the whole thing dissolves, goes in right in the blood vessels in your nose.
If you're snorting it, when you smoke it, that's one of the ways to get the biggest possible dose with smoking it.
Right.
Because when you shoot it, it has to go distribute throughout your body, and with smoking it goes from your lungs directly to your brain.
All right, so you snort it, it goes in the nose, and then where?
Into your bloodstream, and it goes probably through the lungs.
Where does it go first? I mean, the bloodstream, and where's the blood? What direction's the blood going?
Where it needs to go is to your brain. Okay?
Right.
That's where it wants to go.
But it's already up there.
But it basically, I suspect it would go into the veins, through the heart, through the lungs, and back up to the brain, something like that. It'll distribute throughout the body and eventually arrive at the brain.
Right. So your heart gets it before your brain does.
Probably a little bit. Yeah.
But it doesn't know it.
No.
Doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Okay. But it does have the effect on the heart before it gets to your brain.
I don't know that for a fact, but probably, I suspect.
My old man should be here.
What's your dad do?
He works for the National Institute of Drug Abuse. He's a psychopharmacologist.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's a tremendous organization.
Yeah.
People don't...
First off, people who don't know it, a psychopharmacologist is a pharmacist that went insane, right? Is that what that is? Just running amok?
But there's so much information coming out of that institution and the National Institute on Alcohol, Addiction, and Abuse that there's so much sophistication about what we know about drugs and what they do to people and what addiction is, and yet the public just has no awareness of it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And I'm finally having to, I'm like going, man, I guess maybe my dad is right about some of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Lectures.
We're definitely one of the rock bands that had that, early on in the stages of getting into, rockdom. We had Mr. Carolla, Dr. Carolla, to say all the things the public doesn't know, about
but should.
drug abuse.
Yeah, but that's
what it was,
I want to know how he delivered it to make them stop, because that's the talk I want to give to my kids.
Well,
they're a rock band and they stopped.
They could be getting high out in the parking lot after the show. We don't know if they
stoned when he took. No, I'm just kidding.
No. I must have really bummed your high. Dad telling you about drugs.
Come on, you're bringing me down, Dad.
Well, these guys are well adjusted. They're smart guys. They went to William and Mary. There's a decent background there.
Yeah, but they're a rock band. It could have happened.
Well, they don't really rock that hard, though, Drew. See,
here we go.
I was trying to defend you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, John Tesh is in a band, Drew. I mean, come on. Sandra.
Out of the water.
Hi, guys.
Hey, you're 21. What's going on?
I have a question. I've been masturbating since I was like 5. So I was wondering what was wrong with me.
That can be normal.
It can?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Is there something else going on?
No, because I've never been, molested or anything. And
you know what, for us, one of our acid tests...
When did you have time?
One of our acid tests...
The guy tried to pull your hand away from your crotch once, but he just couldn't get it away, so he moved on.
Well, the acid test we have for whether or not somebody has got any problems is how we sort of judge how your relationships have been. Have they been stable, long-term, gratifying? Sandra?
Yes. I haven't had any.
You haven't?
No.
Why is that?
Just because I think it's the area I live in, and I'm not really into the people here.
You're 21.
I know, and I'm, still virgin.
Yeah, once you...
did you grow up in that area?
No, I moved when I was, 10 or 12.
How come?
Okay.
Why'd you move there?
Well, my grandma died. My mom ran some money. It was cheaper out here, so.
Mm-hmm. And your dad, where's he?
He's white trash in Florida.
Okay, so there's something
There's a little something here.
Probably a Seminary 3 fan.
Where'd you move? The Philippines or something?
I moved to Stockton.
Uh-huh. And you can't find a guy in Stockton?
No, it's just, it's just a different type of people.
Where'd you move from? Florida?
The Bay Area.
Oh, that's torture.
Why don't you go to college?
I am going to college. Actually, I'm transferring to UCLA.
All right. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
You're going to get laid.
Yeah.
We're sure.
Get a nice Asian guy over there to do you right. Well, that's UCLA.
But yeah, you're going to be fine, love.
Sandra?
Yes.
You're good.
Thank you.
Just don't worry about just focus on establishing some kind of relationship. I think.
How often do you diddle nowadays?
Mostly once a day.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
Maybe twice.
Yeah. Mostly twice a day, sometimes 3 times?
No, mostly once.
All right.
Sometimes twice.
Here's what you need to do. You need to not do it for a few days and get some of the eye of the tiger back. You know what I mean?
I've
you
done
go
that.
out.
It doesn't work.
Okay.
It's not about
for
that.
guys, it works that way. Like if it's easy to go to Shakey's when you're full. Just stand around, watch a little TV, play some foosball, have a mojo and go home. Because you
mojo?
Those potatoes, those mojo potatoes. You got to go out hungry. You know what I mean? Guys got to go out hungry, otherwise they have no incentive.
What about that whole, if you masturbate before you go out on a big date, then if you end up having sex later that night, you'll be able to
last longer.
The whole something about marriage.
What's the truth about that?
That's true, and you might not. You might use better judgment too. I mean, men maybe should be disarmed more.
Yeah, I look at it as robbed of self, but yeah, disarmed is fine too. Well, it depends. You see, there's a friend of mine who is not aggressive enough, who goes out on date after date after date, and he doesn't make his move. And his problem is he has himself in the shower before, the pre-date shower. He always has himself. So we had to tell him, knock it off. We took a hammer to his hand so he wouldn't. Yeah, and then later on his foot because we found out he was cheating. But the point is some guys need to do it and some guys need not to do it. Me, I do like half of one. You know what I mean? Just to get like a little drop of blood in the water to get the sharks going.
That's torture, dude. That's torture.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he finishes.
That's airplane wood.
Just nothing comes out.
I count one as half, though. Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 22.
Yeah, my girlfriend, she just had a miscarriage not too long ago, but when we first started going out, and it happened when me and her were fooling around and stuff, and
The miscarriage happened?
What?
The miscarriage happened when you were fooling around?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
How far into the pregnancy was she?
Not too far, maybe about couple weeks.
How'd you know it was a miscarriage at that point?
We didn't at that point. We didn't know till she actually went to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I'm sitting there and doing something, and all of a sudden I pull my hand out and blood. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, but she could be just menstruating.
No, she wasn't menstruating.
Why not?
It wasn't her time.
It wasn't her time, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't?
She could still be menstruating.
No, I think chicks just say that. I don't think they really do. That really happens.
How did they find out that she had been pregnant?
She went to the doctor.
And what did they say?
They said that she had a miscarriage.
How did they, I don't see how they could know that. Did they do
She brought the evidence.
No. Did they do a scraping? Did they do a DNC after that?
I wasn't with her when they did it.
Joe, this isn't hanging together. The story.
What?
It's not?
No.
You think bogus, Drew?
I don't know. It's just not holding together.
Well, okay, wait a minute.
Let's talk after the break. Let's let him think about it.
No, I think we just end the show now. I think that's a pretty good segment. That's enough, wasn't it? Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. We're gonna pick this one apart when we get back. All right.
All right.
All right. Hang on there. We got 7 Mary 3 here. We'll take a break. We'll be back with Joe and his miscarriage.
Loveline's phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. We'll be right back.
All right. We got some more Loveline with Getting Jason from 7 Mary 3. Orange Avenue is the name of the CD, and we're going to hear a little something off that in just a couple of minutes. We're going to finish up with Joe. Now, Drew had some questions about Joe. I didn't think that Joe had a bogus call, but he was a little ill-informed, it seemed.
Yeah, so we're going to let him off the hook and just get right to the question.
Oh, we are? Okay. Joe?
Yep.
What's the question?
Okay. I was just wondering if she did have a miscarriage, would it cause, like, a decline in her eating and, like, her not being, what is it?
Well, she's depressed.
Right. You're describing somebody who's depressed, and no doubt either a therapeutic abortion or a miscarriage, a spontaneous abortion, can cause depression. There are tremendous biological changes when a woman has been pregnant and then suddenly is not. However, 2 weeks into a pregnancy, I wouldn't expect that kind of thing.
See, I really don't know too much about it.
We're getting that point. We got that.
Joe, are you a gynecologist?
No.
OB-GYN? No?
No, but I kind of wish I was, but...
you got it. I don't know. If normal schooling is 8 years, you got about 15. Because you're like in the hole 7 years when it comes to vagina.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so was this your child that was possibly aborted?
No.
Right. I was starting to get that vibe. Now, what is her deal? Did you just meet her?
I met her about a month ago.
And was she just fresh off a relationship?
No, she'd been off a relationship for probably a few months, and this was just kind of like a one-night stand she had with another guy.
So was she sort of cheating on you?
No. This was before she met me.
All right.
I'm having a little trouble with the timeline.
Whatever it is, she's getting depressed. Okay? And you need to be sensitive to that fact. That's what's going on here.
Oh, I have no problem with being sensitive because that's kind of the way I was raised.
Okay.
In fact, too many people say I'm too sweet of a guy.
Outside of the family?
Outside of the family and within my family.
Yeah. All right. Well, Joe, is this girl, is she trouble?
I don't think she really is too much trouble.
Okay.
We kind of think there might be a little something
Starting
out
to
there.
feel like a handful, this one.
Oh, most of the girls I go out with are handfuls.
Well,
Does she come from a little nuttiness, Joe?
Yeah, she's had a little bit of problems with heavier drugs in the past.
Okay, well, it doesn't surprise us.
Joe, you a fixer? You got to get in and fix these women?
Is your mom an alcoholic?
My mom, no.
Your dad?
No, when they were younger, they used to smoke pot and snort lines, but they don't do that.
Were you around then?
No, not really. Not when they were doing the stuff. I mean, nowadays I smoke pot every now and then, but...
Yeah.
Right.
It's just you're manifesting sort of in again the broadest sense something that people would call codependency. You might want to go to a bookstore and look up Codependent No More, books like that. And,
Listen,
get a sense of what you're up to.
All you goofy guys out there that are
nice
yeah. And are going after the women that are a handful. At 22, you are ill-equipped. I mean, this is Mount Everest. You know what I'm saying? And you're wearing a pair of Huaraches. And it's the dead of winter, and you got like a bandana around your neck, a pair of sweatpants on, and you're going for the summit.
No Sherpa
Believe
guides.
me, we're going to find your body thawing in the fetal position come spring. Believe me, I mean, take it from me. I'm 34 now. I've just barely got a handle on people, how they work, what works, what doesn't work. But when you're 22 as a guy and, you're swinging a hammer for a living or hanging drywall or something, and you get hooked up with a chick who's a little nutty, a little chaotic, you got your work cut out for you. And you got a lot of, it's a tough road to hoe. All right, I'm out of cliches, so let's go ahead and hear something from 7 Mary 3. This one is called Over Your Shoulder.
The sex object, like they couldn't have used a more beautiful woman to have this guy ignoring, like it was definitely man
That's
is a fool.
Jason from 7 Mary 3. Giddy's also here from the same band. Orange Avenue is the name of the CD. That was Over Your Shoulder. Sounds good, guys.
Thank you.
Isn't it amazing how... and you really get... And this is something I think only guys can do. We really get hot for a chick from a commercial. She's on for about 12 seconds. You decide that you're in love with her. It seems like it's the best relationship you ever had because she didn't say anything and she just looked real good. There's like a couple of beer commercials, and there's a couple of commercials. I can't. They just run over. Ooh, the chick who's rushing him.
Yeah, she's in the new.
Yes.
She's in the new Maxim magazine, looking. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, she's down in that 3-point stance, and she's rushing. She put the safety blitz on Troy and a late hit.
He's like, we'll do that one again.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to, Drew, you're no help here. Yeah, there's the Doritos commercial where the guy's in the laundromat, and like that wouldn't turn into some sort of rape scene in about 5 minutes. Chick wanders into an empty laundromat wearing the midriff shirt and starts taking stuff off. There's the one I saw. The Designer Imposters one, where they have like a really hot-looking blonde Swedish chick, and she looks like she's wearing nothing, but they have sort of a bar over her crotch and over her breasts, and she's spraying this stuff all over herself.
Right.
Oh, I swear I can get too off to that, and it's only a 30-second spot.
You watch too much television.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's why I'm on top of things, Drew. That's why you're the dumb one. He doesn't know, like, what, Boss Hog is to Enos or anything.
Tonight we were flipping television, and I finally saw that thing that Bobcat's on, where he's the rabbit.
Right.
I never knew what the hell you were talking about when you talked about that before. I am on top of things now.
That's the beauty of Drew. I can make any reference under the sun. He doesn't know what I'm talking about, unless it's about opera, in which case he's right on top of it, except for I couldn't name you any. But I'll make a reference about The Shining. Do you understand that? And he doesn't know what I'm talking about.
It helps me realize that there was about 8 years of my life when I was totally... I might as well have been non-existent.
Those were the peyote years, Drew.
No, it's the hospital.
Living on a kibbutz trying to find himself.
Living in a hospital. It's amazing. It just
on the kibbutz, though, right?
You do something day in and day out, 18 hours a day, you lose touch with society. That's it.
Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, you're 38. What's going on?
Oh, not much. I was calling about your lid dilemma that you had.
Yeah, we get into this once in a while. We were talking about this last week. We try to figure out about once every 6 months how much marijuana is in a lid.
Or where did that come from? Where did the term lid come from? And we've had a few different ones.
Okay.
Never the right one, though. But you're 38, so that puts you right in the lid sweet zone.
Yeah, it's like they used to go for $20 in the 70s, early 70s, and they used to measure them with, you're probably going to laugh, but it was a mason jar lid. And they would fill up the lid, scrape it off, dump in a bag.
Mason jar doesn't have a lid. I mean, it's got a lid, but it's just thick glass. It doesn't really dip in, does it?
You mean a large jar of some type, not a mason jar?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a jar lid.
Was this a marijuana jar? I mean, how do people know that it was the right size lid?
Well, it's like all mason jars. They come in two tops. The rim and then the center cap that falls.
Oh, I see. You're talking about one kind of mason jar, Adam. He's talking about one that screws on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always picture the mason jar as the one that you sort of clamp down.
Right, it is.
Oh, no, not the clamping time. I'm talking about the screw kind that you put hot stuff in and you put the wax on top and it seals itself, that type.
Uh-huh. How much preserving are you doing there, Jim? Because I got apricots are just about out of season. You better get to the basement, brother. What, are you hanging out with Aunt B?
No, I got relatives that live down south that do a lot of canning.
Oh, my God.
Jarring up apples. Oh, and I had a thing about the piercing, the girl with getting a clitoris pierced.
Yeah?
They should just make clamp-ons.
Hey, that's good, Jim. You're a genius. Let me write that down. Let me tell you something, genius Jim. We figured out it was either going to be clitoris or clitoris, but clitoris is not an option. So you got two to pick from, but the clitoris is not a third.
Sounds like a hat. All right, but so you had something about a shoebox lid.
I thought about a shoebox lid. Somebody said that.
This guy claims he sold it that way.
Well, shoebox lid seems like too much. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a big lid. That's a lot of weed. Now, people use...
You're talking an inch deep there, too.
Yeah, you're talking a good 7/8, 15/16, and then you're talking about, 8 inches by a foot.
Right, but this size of jar is what he's talking
lid,
about.
Yeah, I could see it. Like a mayonnaise jar lid.
It's bigger than that.
Bigger than a mayonnaise jar?
Jar is it's like, what, 5 inches?
All right. I'm getting a contact on it. Engineer Mike's on he's on the computer. He'll figure this out.
All right, good.
Yeah, he'll get to it.
In the meantime.
All right, 7 Mary 3's here. Let's just check in with Randy before we go to break. Randy?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
You're 14.
Yeah.
You call yourself Randy.
Yeah.
What is your question?
Well, see, about 3 months ago, my dad's been a trucker his whole life. And about 3 months ago, my mom's had it, because he's, never home. And so, they decided to, get a separation, because my mom said either quit your job or get out of here. And so my mom, while they're separated, my mom had this boyfriend over. And, and...
All right, well, hang on, hold on.
Sorry.
And you saw him cheating? You saw your mom sort of cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my dad's home now, and I don't know, if I should tell him or not.
So the separation is over, or he's just in town now?
No, because my dad,
He's back.
All right, hold on.
All right. Now, see, my advice would be, wait till he gets good and drunk, and it's like cleaning his gun, and then you hit him with the news.
We'll talk to Randy.
All right. Thank God my parents never had sex, not even with each other. We'll be back.
You have 5 seconds.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
2.
Back in a minute.
1.
Hi, this is Adrienne Barbeau, and you're listening to Loveline with Dr. Drew and my new wannabe boyfriend, Adam Carolla.
Oh, yes. She may be 65 years old, but I still love her. Adrienne Barbeau. That was Maud's daughter. Oh, listen, no one knows what I'm talking about anymore. She's just a busty woman I grew up digging. That's when I knew I liked the breasts, when I saw Adrienne Barbeau in the 70s, those tight sweaters. Jason and Giddy are both here from 7 Mary 3. I had that dream where I tried to rape Adrienne Barbeau. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, vaguely.
It wasn't really rape. I was just trying to get her top off.
Right.
She made such a stink
You
that
got
I
arrested
stopped.
or something, yeah.
What kind of dream is that?
It was a dream.
What is that representative of?
His whole life struggle.
Between good and evil.
No.
Here was my dream. Once in a while, I'm aware that I'm in a dream. Yeah, I think that happens to everybody. You know you're in a dream. Sometimes you'll wake up when you know you're dreaming, but sometimes, I don't know if anyone else does this. I'm sure they do. You're somehow made aware that you're dreaming. So what you do is you decide, well, I'm going to have a good time. You know, while I'm as long as I'm dreaming, let's have a good time. It's payback time now. So, like, I remember one dream where I knew I was dreaming, so I climbed up to the top of a building. There was like 20 stories, and I jumped off. And then I got down to the ground, and I jumped off again, but I wouldn't do a flip. Isn't that weird? Just
in case you weren't dreaming?
Just in case I wasn't dreaming. I didn't want to hurt myself. So, haven't you guys done this?
No.
So, oh, please. Jason?
I've had dreams when I know that cognitively, or maybe it's not cognitively, but
on some level.
Yeah, you know that you're dreaming. I know that I'm existing in another realm of some kind. And you can control your actions.
Right.
You can,
and there's a little sort of a catch-22, which is if you had the guts to do the flip off the building, you'd be so far removed from the dream that you wouldn't buy it. You'd wake up. So there's like a part of you that knows you're dreaming, but you're still not going to put a shotgun in your mouth.
Right.
But I knew I was dreaming for some reason, and there was Adrienne Barbeau, and she was walking. I remember we were at the Fashion Square Mall over in the valley there, and there she was. And I said to myself, I'm going to get a look at them jugs. And I went over there, and I said, I got to pull Adrienne's sweater off, because it's a dream. She's not going to press charges. So I went and tried to, like, wrestle her sweater off, and she started kicking and screaming and making such a fuss. And, like, yelling at the top of her lungs that I finally it became too humiliating, even in my dream, and I just moved on. Why? I then realized that because it was my dream, I was creating the actions of Adrienne. Why she couldn't have just been docile and let me take her top off, I don't know. She had to scream and kick and start yelling, stop it.
Maybe that's part of your conscience getting in there and really twisting you up. Because I know exactly what you're talking about.
So pathetic, though.
You can control your own actions, and you're like, wow, this dream's going to get really good. And then you turn the corner, and it's like you get run over by a truck.
I could have had her give me oral sex right there on the mall, right at one of the benches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead, she had to start screaming. All right, I was only 16. Leave me alone.
There had to be some excuse for you not suffering the indignation and the disappointment of realizing that you could never see them and had never seen them and wouldn't have any image of them even in your dream.
Yeah, they'd have to look like someone else's class.
So you'd have to make it so you never can actually see them.
I could have made it work.
I don't think you need to have seen them to be able to imagine.
No, you're right. I could have.
In their entire, capacity.
I've never seen Satan, but I've seen him in my dreams many a time, believe me. Randy.
Yeah.
It looks like Engineer Mike, actually. Yeah, Satan. He's a little nicer, yeah. It's like Engineer Mike, but a little more motivated. Randy.
Yeah.
You're 14. What's going on?
Well,
oh, yeah. Wait, your mom and dad separated. Mom brought a guy in, did some cheating. Now dad's back in the house.
Yeah.
Right. And you want to know whether to tell dad?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Randy, the deal is when couples separate, was it a legal separation?
Oh, no, it's just like, he had to, like, finish up and everything.
What?
Like,
his dad got out of the house, finished up a truck route or something, right?
Yeah.
But she kicked him out.
Yeah, like...
I mean, when couples decide they're going to separate, that usually means that they're going to date.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what that means, isn't it? Something along those lines.
If you've been together for 20 years and the guy's work is what's doing it, it means that when you're in high school and you're breaking up, it means the chick's got the hots for your best friend or whatever.
No, that's more than a separation, though. I mean, that's a breakup. This is something where we're going to try a separation. I mean, what are they trying?
No, that doesn't say dating to me.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
But nice try, Drew.
Well, I know a lot of people do that, though.
Really?
Oh, yes.
That ain't right. Chicks, right? Guys are trying to, but they can't. It takes them like a couple of weeks to get back in the groove.
Well, of
They
course,
gotta dig out the aqua
and
velva.
more importantly, any women they date, they say, hey, you're still married.
Right.
You're married. I don't care if you're separate. You're married. Forget it.
All right, Randy?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I think your household is a little bit chaotic. Do sports, do school, get good grades. Don't say anything to Dad about this. This is their business. He may already know, for all you know. And just get your crap together and then go off to college somewhere.
All right.
All right, Randy.
Good luck, Randy.
Take care of yourself. Listen, a lot of you guys that are listening are 15, 16, 14, 17. You're right on the cusp, really, of getting out of the house. Now, I know you don't think that way. I mean, I know when you're 15...
3 years is, in 15 years...
That's eternity. But when it comes to the Earth's calendar... or at least your calendar, seeing as how you're going to live to 85. If you could just, study a little harder, stay after school a little longer, get involved with a little this and a little that for just a couple years, a year and a half, and then go off to college, that'd be the biggest difference in the world. Or you could spend more time at home, smoke more weed, and then go to junior college, drop out, and work for your cousin's sofa factory or something. And you go completely different direction. But you know what I mean? There's just that couple years there. And it's tough because usually the parents are sick of each other by then. I've talked to a lot of people whose parents broke up when they were 14, 15 years old, or whose parents said they're just staying together until the kids turn 18 or 19. But when you're just staying together and you hate each other's guts, that's got to be a little bit rough living in that house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's more punishing than if you were to separate sometimes.
Sometimes.
Depending how old the kids
If
are.
you can pull it off. But there's a vibe there. There's no doubt there's a vibe there. And if your folks are just staying together until you go off to college... That may be a rough 2 or 3 years you're living. There may be some tension under that roof.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Scott.
Hi.
You're 16.
Hi.
My folks made the commitment to stay together until I got out of kindergarten.
Oh, they made it that far?
Yeah, that was their commitment.
At the end of that year.
Yeah, we want to let them graduate from kindergarten.
Tremendous.
And then we'll go our separate ways because they didn't want it to affect me, Scott.
Yeah, about this lid thing. Oh, sorry. Hi, 793. I asked my ex-hippie father what it was, and he said it's just an ounce that used to go for about $20, and now it's about $250.
Nope.
No?
That's not what we're looking for.
It's not?
We know it's close to an ounce. We're wondering where the term came from. I don't want people don't listen to all that. Where did the term come from, and exactly why did they call it a lid? Not how much did it cost, what is it near the size. Everybody knows what it looked like. But where did it come from? Why did that term?
Hey, where did you guys get this term from? Who dropped this on you?
It comes up once in a while and it drives me insane.
Whenever we talk to 35, 40-year-olds, yeah.
Something I remember from, junior high, guys talking about a lid. Hey, Scott.
Yeah?
Go get your hippie dad, put him on the phone.
No, he's really old now and goes to sleep pretty damn early.
How old is he?
He's about 45. But
the humanity.
Older than he really is. I swear to God, he sleeps like a damn log all day.
Hey,
but
that's marijuana.
He hooks himself up to dialysis, takes his teeth out, and at 45.
I know 45 isn't old, but he actually.
Listen, Hefner, hold on. Hugh Hefner was 45 in 1962.
Yes.
I mean, imagine that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he had about 30 years of swinging between then and now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do have a real question, though. Are there any long-term effects to Dexedrine?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Like what? Well, because a while ago, some quack psychiatrist put me on Dexedrine for about 2 months, and then every now and then, in sporadic clumps of about 4 or 5 nights, I wake up with really rapid heartbeats.
You should definitely see somebody about that. There's a lot of potential causes. I doubt that it's necessarily related to the Dexedrine since you're off it, but thyroid problems, primary rhythm disturbances of the heart definitely can cause this kind of thing, and Dexedrine surely would make that stuff worse.
That's speedy?
It's a kind of speed.
All right. We got to go to break. 703's here, and we'll be right back.
Loveline. Be right back in a minute. Radio 92.1 FM, Greenville, Tucson.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla over there. Ooh. I don't know.
Oh, Donnie. Hey, we're on Donnie Marie tomorrow. He's going to be in tomorrow Tuesday.
I don't want to watch it.
Believe me.
You going to watch it?
No.
And we're on Donnie and Marie tomorrow at 9 a.m. Donnie Osmond will be in here tomorrow. And
no, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Rebecca Gayheart will be in here tomorrow. Rebecca is that really, really hot, curly-haired, blue-eyed chick who used to be the Noxzema chick.
Oh!
Yeah. Speaking of chicks you lust after from commercials, Mike, do you have that details or whatever that magazine I had? I see.
Nice.
Whatever that magazine Ann brought in. But Maxim, you may not recognize her name, but you'll if you saw her face for 1 second, you know exactly who she is.
Chick, you mean?
Yeah, the curly.
Oh yeah, she's in
a movie.
She's got a new movie. She's coming out a new movie.
She did Scream 2. Hold on there, wise ass. She did Scream 2, and she's now in Urban Legends. Right. So she'll be in here.
I will not be here tomorrow night.
Oh, and I did a movie with her.
What'd you do?
I was in a movie that she was in. I'm telling you.
Was
no
it
one
released?
believes me.
Was it ever released?
It's gonna.
Yeah.
As soon as Beta comes back, they released it to Beta. The idiots.
But I will not be here tomorrow night.
It's on Laserdisc, I swear.
I'm doing a massive media tour for a condom company.
Really?
It's actually a pretty good product. A great product and a good idea to educate people about condom use and stuff. So I'm going to be sitting in a studio like this from 4A until 1P.
Oh, that's bad.
You've done these with me for a couple hours. Imagine doing it for all those hours at that time.
Can't imagine. How surly am I at those things, Drew?
Horrible. It's just impossible. I don't have words to describe it.
Yeah, it's great. All right, so that'll be bad. But you're doing that tomorrow, and Dr. Bruce will be in here.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
All right, that's fine. He's better anyway.
Go ahead.
All right, and I'm doing Lisa tomorrow. The show I swore I'd never do again.
You're a sellout.
You know what? That's true. I said I wasn't going to do it, and our manager called and said, the book's coming out in a week, and you don't want to... All right.
We are pathetic.
I know. We did Lisa like a year and a half ago and just hated it. It was just pathetic. Just us and a bunch of idiots sitting around arguing about nothing for an hour. But
we are pathetic.
I'm back. I'll be back for more tomorrow. But don't worry. Believe me, I'll go nuts tomorrow if it gets out of hand.
All right, please.
All right. Jason.
Yeah.
You're 20.
On my behalf, please, will you?
Yes. What's going on?
Well, me and my girlfriend were having oral sex, and she swallowed. And we had oral sex before, but this is the first time she actually swallowed at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, she got really sick. She got a bad fever. She couldn't breathe. We took her to the hospital, and the doctor said it was pneumonia. And they said she'd have it for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
But then the day after that, she was fine. And I heard that some girls are actually allergic to sperm, and I was wondering if that could be the case.
I have never... I can't imagine how someone, even allergic, could develop that kind of reaction. The kind of allergic reactions that typically you're talking about with its allergy to semen, it's really not the sperm but the semen, is just a local irritation or itching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to have a systemic reaction with fever really suggests an inflammatory process. I suspect they were just wrong on their diagnosis, and it was some sort of limited viral illness and had nothing to do with what you guys were doing.
Well, they didn't suggest that. Jason. That's like Jason's hypothesis.
No, that's what they said.
They said you have pneumonia and you'll be sick for a week, which is the case if you have pneumonia.
No, I'm saying...
Oh, the allergy is his hypothesis.
You just Jason's hypothesis is she's allergic to a sperm, which you addressed. And
right. No, his question is, why would she have gotten better in 24 hours if she had pneumonia, which she really wouldn't have if it were pneumonia.
She didn't hack up the sperm, and maybe that was it.
She could have aspirated it. I mean, you can do that. Stuff can get in the wrong place, and that can certainly cause.
Well, that's like pneumonia. You get fluid in the lung, right?
That's right. And
they're not thinking of that kind of fluid normally.
You can't really. No. And that can be a relatively limited process. That can be just an acute reaction that goes away pretty fast. But even that, too, usually sets up a good pneumonia.
Jason, did it go down the wrong pipe?
She didn't gag or cough or anything?
No, she seemed to take it down okay.
Well, that's nice. All right. So, I think they just sort of misdiagnosed.
Like to sort of trace things back to sex. Like people go... I'm pretty good. We had anal sex with my girlfriend, and then the next day she was hit by a train, and so I'm thinking maybe somehow my penis affected her motor skills or something. But I think maybe she was just drunk and walking across the tracks. There's not necessarily a correlation there. All right. Tammy.
Yeah.
You're 20.
Yes.
What's going on? You're on a 7 Mary 3.
Hi, I like you guys, by the way. But you guys don't have anything to do with my question.
Okay, then.
You don't have much to do with the band. I got news for you, Tammy.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Okay, anyway, I was wondering, I always read, things in health magazines and everything that say it's bad to have a diet high in fat if you're trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
But sometimes I hear, from people that lift weights and stuff, that it's better to actually have a high-fat diet because when you eat a lot of carbohydrates, your body just stores them instead of, using them. So it's better to eat a lot of fats.
I think the usual controversy is between carbohydrates versus protein. Yeah, and then if you're on a high-protein diet, the fats aren't as big of an issue. I'd actually refer you to that book, The Zone. I think that's a pretty reasonable rendition of some of this material. Have you read that book or heard of that book?
I've heard of it, but
What?
I've just heard that, also, eating, too much fat is, actually bad for you.
Well, of course it is. There's no doubt that it is. It's not a good thing.
Tammy.
Increases your risk of heart disease.
Quick question.
Increases your risk of colon cancer, and maybe even for breast cancer. So, limiting fat is a good idea no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm playing a hunch here. You going to go to junior college?
No.
No. They throw you out?
Too busy reading, Adam.
You're not going to a 4-year place, are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one? San Diego?
Arizona.
Oh.
Yes, you.
Yeah. I got to check their admissions there. They must let anyone get in there. What are you, Comanche Indian or something? There's got to be some kind of affirmative action thing going on with you, Tammy. You're 20 years old. You're in college. I heard eating fat was bad for you.
No. This because my whole thing is that sometimes, a lot of people say lately that as long as it's not saturated fat, that it's not as bad, and you actually can lose weight quicker if you exercise, if you are consuming a lot of fats that aren't high in saturated fat.
All right. Here's it is kind of confusing if you start reading all this stuff because these arguments go back and forth, and monosaturated fats for a while we're in and some they're not. The thing about fats is that they satiate your appetite. So some amount of fat is good if you're trying to lose weight and you're taking a high-protein diet, low carbohydrate.
It's an interesting point that we've talked about it before, which is real interesting, which is how you can't fool your body, which is they have chips with the Alestra now, and they have no fat in them. But you eat 2 bags. You know what I'm saying? And I was saying to Drew, it is so true that you could eat a piece of Boston cream pie. You eat half a piece, and you go, ooh, that's so rich. Oh, I'm full. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. After a piece, right? Or some kind of banana fudge, what have you, meringue thing. But I can eat a whole pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Now, the whole pumpkin pie, I may be bragging the whole time, doesn't have any fat in it, but I'm eating the whole...
It's got 15 times the calories.
I'm eating the entire pie, and oftentimes the tin, if I'm stoned. I really will. So, only if the pie's upside down when I start, in which case I'll have to burrow through the tin. So maybe you're outsmarting your body. Maybe you should be eating that banana fudge and just having the one piece.
But I tell you what, I am in favor. I've always believed that the physiology of a high-protein diet. It's always made sense to me. It's even well substantiated. Exercise, high-protein, low-carb, modest fat. I mean, and I think The Zone sort of addresses that, maybe overly zealously, but gives you a sense of what those issues are.
Yeah. And Drew and I were in the Denver airport.
We used to have our life in that GD Denver.
Yeah, I'm going to get a part-time job at the Denver airport.
Oh, we live there. I've been there twice a week for the last month.
Denver is the stopover. You go everywhere. You got to stop in Denver. So Drew and I walk down the plank there into the terminal, and it's like when Norm showed up at Cheers. It really is high-fiving with people from the food court. We got a tab running at the bar. We'll be back in a couple days on a hub. We'll pay you back. But Drew orders the Denver omelet because he says, when in Rome, And by the way, the Denver omelet in Denver's not as good as the Denver omelet is in North Hollywood, which is sad, really sad. But Drew doesn't know that there's onions and bell pepper and whatever else in the Denver omelet. Yeah, and he can't eat the onion and the bell pepper. So my job is to trick Drew into ordering things that have stuff he can't tolerate in them, and then I get to eat it.
He eats it maniacally in front of me.
I eat it in front of him.
Tell him how good it is.
Why
did you bring that up?
I don't know. She was just talking about food and protein, and I just thought about our Denver omelet over there.
Oh, Denver. We're going back, I suspect.
The Denver airport sucks.
It's a beautiful airport. It's
Well,
spectacular.
if you didn't have to drive 25 miles from the exit of the highway to get there, it's like, oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm going to make my plane.
We were there
25 minutes later.
We were there yesterday.
Oh, that's
Think
sad.
about that.
That is so sick.
And we were flying out in one of these giant 777s, and we were up in the air for a while, and I go, Adam, look outside. We've been up in the air for 10 minutes?
15
minutes. Now we're going over Denver. Exactly. We've been in the air 15 minutes, and we just come over Denver downtown.
Yeah, it's got to suck. It's just like it's 700 miles of prairie before you get to the Denver airport. The Denver airport's in San Diego, by the way. You have to drive through L.A. to get there. Dennis.
Yeah.
You're 35. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I just saw you guys for the first time on TV last night. A friend taped MTV, and you're both better looking than I pictured.
Thank you.
So, anyway.
God, what did you picture?
Huh?
Sorry.
People always picture radio people to be sort of fat and sloppy.
Well, I
big
pictured Adam shorter and Drew to have a bigger head.
Well, you got to house that brain somewhere.
Yeah, he's got a big brain, I figured, so I'd have to have a bigger head.
You figured he'd have like a big vein pulsating out of his forehead, too?
Pinky in the brain.
Something like that.
What's up, Dennis?
Well, I just started going back to school and going to a community college, Adam.
Oh.
But I'm gay, and there's a young kid who must just be fresh out of high school who's kind of coming on to me, and it's kind of freaking me out. I don't really know what to do.
Do you have a boyfriend now?
No. I just got divorced about 6 months ago. So I haven't really. Yeah.
Divorced from a female?
Yeah.
Did you just out of curiosity, what happened? I mean, were you just trying to live a straight life?
Yeah. I wanted to have a family ever since I was real young, and tried to keep straight, and I really couldn't. I messed around there several times.
Did you have kids?
Yeah.
How old are they now?
She had a 1-year-old when we got married, so she's 14 now, and a 12 and an 11-year-old.
How's that going?
Well, not very good.
What's happening?
Just see them on every other weekend.
No, you're saying not good in terms of how you feel about it, but how are they doing?
Well, they're kind of confused, and I told them why we got divorced, and so they were...
Do they get it?
Not really.
Told them your mother's a lesbian.
I should, huh?
Yeah.
No, they don't really get it. They're like...
Well, wait a minute. You 12, 14, and 10, or...
11, 12, and 14.
Yeah, 11, 12, and 14.
11-year-old's not going to get it. 12
Oh, yes.
No.
Listen, I was calling guys homo when I was 9.
Yeah, he does that.
Believe me, you get it.
He does that, too, yeah.
That's part of your repertoire when you're that's the best one you got. That's your trump. Hey,
they know
homo.
what it is, but they don't understand that I can't change.
Well, do they want you to change, or would they? Is that their wish?
Yeah.
Why can't you change?
Why don't you stop doing that?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Dennis, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Do you think they needed to know at that age?
Probably not, but they wanted to know why we were getting a divorce, and I couldn't think up a good lie, so I told them the truth. I got to tell you, though, Dennis, most of the people I ever hear talk about going through this, it's always there's some bitterness and some resentment and some denial and some tears and stuff. As they become adults, they seem to have great relationships.
The kids.
With the parents. Whereas our relationships with our heterosexual parents seem to grow further and further apart and more strain, and mom and dad get crazier and crazier. But for some reason, the gay parents, and maybe just because they're more progressive, or... You know, a 45-year-old and a 20-year-old kid can talk about things that you couldn't otherwise, or something. You know what I'm talking about here?
Right. Causal fall?
Yeah.
It sort of suggests that. But I don't know that that's true statistically or not. I hear that it's your experience.
It's just, I would reckon that gay parents are more liberal, more progressive, and more... have a more sympathetic ear toward their 19 or 20-year-old and whatever plight they're going through.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now, you correct me if this is wrong, Dennis. Gay people are smart and compassionate. I mean, really, generally.
Oh, yeah. They're geniuses. Probably, everything except for the blowing the guy part. That's where they lose me, but they're smart other than that.
Yeah.
They're real smart.
And they tend to have high level, they tend to do well economically and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, and I bet you that gay people that have had kids have a hell of a lot of guilt and put out a lot of energy and effort on those kids.
Yeah.
And that may be where the quality comes from.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Interesting.
I make sure that I'm real affectionate with my boy, and
right.
And because I didn't get any.
Right.
At all. So. right, so you're married. You gave the straight life a try.
Uh-huh.
And as much as you wanted to have kids and everything, you got your kids, but the marriage didn't last. Now you're back in junior college.
Yeah.
You're studying dance.
No,
and
music, actually.
Okay.
Choral music.
See, I wasn't too far off.
Oh, Adam.
And you're studying choral, and my mom does that, by the way. You must be in with a bunch of old yentas like my mom. Bunch of women named Trudy in their early 60s.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so it's my mom does it to junior
All right,
college.
let's get to this question.
And there's a young guy, and he's into you.
Yeah.
And he knows you're gay because you're in the choral.
I guess you know.
And you don't have a relationship right now, and that's why you're even giving this a second thought.
What?
You have kids. You know this is the wrong thing, right?
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't even give it a second thought if you had some other sort of gratification in your life from a relationship.
Yeah.
You don't have anything going on right now is the deal, right?
Right.
Well, how old's the guy? He's 19?
Probably younger than that.
Yeah, just Dennis, you know it's not good for him.
Well, here's something we've learned from this show. I don't know what Jason begs to differ. But, do you?
I'm just saying, if he was a heterosexual, if you were an 18-year-old guy and there was a 35-year-old woman that wanted to jump your
We'd
bones,
say the same thing.
You might say that, but if you were the 18-year-old guy, you might not say, hey, this is bad.
That's in fact the point. Is that the adult is the one really responsible to help set the boundaries. If it were a 22-year-old and a 35-year-old, we wouldn't say this.
Okay.
But at 18, they really are not in a position to judge yet what is and is not good for them. It's why we don't suggest people go out with their bosses or managers and this, because that adult is the one responsible to maintain the stability and the boundaries and things. And an adult who doesn't perceive that or violates that is somebody who you probably don't want to be in a relationship with anyway. See, Dennis is a good guy. He's worried about it. He knows it's not the right thing, but he's kind of struggling with it. But he's probably not going to do it because he is a good guy.
It's ironic. It'd be okay for Dennis to do it because he's a good guy, but because he's a good guy, he's probably not going to do it.
No.
And furthermore, most of the young gay men, 17, 18, 19, who we've spoken to on this show, who are attracted to guys that are older, there's some energy they have there from the past, and they need to chill out a little more than act out. That's my gut take on the whole thing.
Right, and that's why Dennis is bothered by it.
All right, Jason.
Yeah.
Not you, Jason. Yes, you're 25.
Hey, I got a question about having children. My wife was raised in in my opinion, it was kind of backwards because they all get married and they have children right away, and my family was get married and get established and then have children. And I'm 25. We've been married for 3 years, and it seems like this subject comes up, I don't know, at least once a week. And my wife's got 2 sisters. One's older and one's younger, and they both have 2 children, and we have none. So
to death. My girlfriend went to her friend's the party for her child's 1-year birthday.
Oh, you were up the creek.
She was there with so the mom is there with the 1-year-old, and then all the other friends of my girlfriend show up with their 1, 2. And listen, you know what an infant is to a woman is what a hot rod is to a guy. When you pull up into the parking lot and all your buddies gather around, ooh, look at that, pop the hood.
I want one of those.
That is something. Woo-wee. Got to get me one of them. That's what goes on. I know what goes on at these things. And my girlfriend came home all fired up. Just that was it. The day was gone. It was shot. It was shot.
The week.
The week's gone. Yeah. She just came home. She was in a fetal position on my sofa when I came home. She started yelling at me immediately because I was a half hour late. It was going off. And, I said, you always show up late when you come back. And then next thing you know, she's crying. And Don was there and she had
You go back up there and get me a baby.
Bring her over to my house. She'll be over very fast. Come on.
I'm gonna bring her to her house.
Just drop her off for a couple hours. You don't have to let the car stop. Just kind of push her out.
That's what you need to do. You need to go borrow your girlfriend's friend's baby, bring it over to your house, and leave it with your girlfriend.
I know. You need a little older than baby, because baby still retains kind of a...
I'm such a retard. We're driving home from the mall about 2 hours later, and I look at her and I go, see, if we had the kid, we couldn't just pick up and go to the mall.
Oh, boy.
We don't have that kind of freedom. We're like the wind now, baby. We're like gypsies.
Well, Jason, the first thing you should be 30 before you have kids. That's my first rule. And I totally agree with you that you need to be really, really ready because there's no sort of catch-up time after that. You're always behind the ball once you have kids. You there?
They're missing out on things that we're getting to do, and
it's not even about that.
Well, my parents were both 40, and we're all growing up, but that doesn't seem. She had this. We were really into problems around Christmas, so I bought her a puppy.
Good. That'll buy you about 3 months.
What you have to focus on is that you're trying to create the healthiest possible environment to really do this properly, and I hope that's your motivation because it should be.
Well, I like kids, and I like my nieces and nephews, but I'm not ready to have them here all the time.
Oh, Jason.
Hey, your wife's 20.
No wonder she's freaking out, because you really don't want to have kids.
Not right now.
But she's afraid that this is going to be a permanent state of affairs.
I'm 2 years into a 4-year degree. I spent 5 years in the military. I've worked really hard to get where I'm at. I'm
with you. I'm just saying, just let her know that you're doing it to create the proper. You got anybody agree with me? The right
totally
circumstances.
I know people who are just turning, 30 now. Who a lot of people today are waiting longer to get married, longer to get
33. I could barely manage it now.
Have kids.
I'm gonna have my girlfriend frozen.
They still can't decide, and
of course not,
because everything in your life's about to change.
I just can't.
It has to be a thing too, man, where it's like the relationship grows to that point. Not one person's ready and the other, is wavering. I mean, it's both people have to be completely grown to that point.
And their careers have to be set, and the financially need to be squared. I mean, this stuff has to be in place.
I'll tell you, and time goes by so quickly now when you get older. It's just screwed. I'm just screwed. I got the 1-2 shot today. A buddy of mine and me were supposed to go out and screw around, and I called him up. I said, we're going to go out. We're going to fly my remote control plane.
Is that what you're going to do?
It's funny that I've regressed into this adolescence. Yeah, we're going over to the little airfield. These little remote control planes, and we're going to go fly them.
All right.
It's a hoot. I'm telling you. So I call him up. I can't go. He's got like an 8-month-old. I can't go, man. My baby's sick, and my wife's freaking out. I can't go. So I hang up the phone.
This was your most irresponsible friend.
This is my most irresponsible ex-drug addict
I've heard
friend.
stories about this guy all day and all night.
This guy,
you're worse than he is now. Think about that.
No, I think he just knocked up his wife or his girlfriend at the time. I don't know if it was planned. But the point is he couldn't leave the house because he had a kid. And so I went out and flew my plane. And then when I got home, my girlfriend gave me the 1-2. And it was just...
I got
to do something.
You got to change.
I got to do something. Yeah. Okay. Got to freeze the girlfriend. We'll be back.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
It just sped up on you.
No.
Yes.
Keep talking. I got to write down.
Late May, right? Was your birthday? June, July, August, September. 4 months.
Yeah, and I'll be 33 next May. I don't know. Drew, come on, look at me. I'm in all right shape. I can't have kids right now.
Why not?
Jason, get here for 7 Mary 3.
You need to get your priorities set.
I want to.
Don't worry, I'm gonna kick his ass.
Here's what
3 days with me, he'll be fine.
Here's what I'm doing. Here's my life now, everybody. I had a sort of deprived childhood.
Yeah.
I really
We've all
didn't.
heard about
I
it.
didn't get anything I wanted when I was a kid. I really didn't. I just grew up in a bunch of hippies and no money and eating a bunch of crap, and I never got anything I wanted. And then I got, I graduated high school barely, and I got into carpet cleaning, and I didn't get anything I wanted. And then I started at construction labor, and I didn't get anything I wanted. And I never got anything I wanted. And I never had a penny. I never had a pot to piss in. I never had a car. All of a sudden, I turn 30, and things start to happen. And then by the time I'm 32, I'm starting to make a few bucks, got a few things going on. Now I'm 34, making money. I got a nice car, I got a nice house, and I want to enjoy myself. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're all screwed up, though, when you really find happiness when you have kids. Then all this, you realize all that didn't matter.
I don't care.
Adam, man, I'm with
happy.
you 100%, baby. 100%, I'm with you.
With one word, Drew says, all of your dreams are they're nothing.
They're bogus.
Compared to 10 fingers.
Just want like 2 years of just enjoying myself.
You've been saying that for a year and a half.
I said 3.5 years, though. A year and a half ago. And I just want 2 more. I want to move in with Engineer Mike.
And I need you to have kids so you can have some empathy for what I go through.
Oh, you have
no sympathy for me.
I know. What do you mean? I'm scared to death. I've seen
I think people who I think the kid thing is just like what we were talking about with the piercings. It's the same thing, man. You get that piercing, you're like, oh, God, what have I done? Oh, it's great. It feels amazing.
Right.
Everyone I know who has kids, giddy, man. When having a kid will change it. Yeah, you're damn right. It's going to change my life. It's going to ruin it.
You're not leaving the house.
My life, as I know it, will be over.
That is true. As you know, it will be over. But it would be.
I'm just enjoying myself. I really am.
Toys though that you
get. Adam.
That's true. That's true.
You can't even talk to the kid for like the first 2 years. You don't even know who you are. You know what I'm saying? A pool man could be banging your wife right in front of the kid. He wouldn't say a thing. Rhiannon.
Hello?
Hey, you're 16.
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey, Adam and Drew, I love you guys so much. I listen to you every single night for 3 years.
Thank you.
Oh, 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. And 7 I love you guys so much. I saw you probably 6 months ago at the Ventura Theater, and you guys were totally awesome. You guys played with the honey rods.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, cool. And I waited for you with my dad outside the theater by the tour bus.
Was it cool that your dad went with you?
Oh yeah, he's totally rad.
That's nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have a kid, and fast forward 15, 16 years, we're going to have to go see some band and wait out by their tour. Meanwhile, there's some sort of golf program that I'm going to want to watch. I'm going to be standing out in some cold curb waiting for a band to come out. And if I'm lucky, one of them brings my daughter in for some sex before they fire up the bus and head out to their next town in Conquest. Rhiannon?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, my question is, I noticed on the new album, Orange Avenue, that the style of the music is a little bit different than American Standard and, what's it called, your other album. And I was just wondering, what caused the slight change in the type of music?
We want to make money.
You want to make money. All right.
I'm just kidding.
I think, no, don't, Giddy, he plays the drums.
Yeah, I do really want to make money.
He does. He's all about it. He's the boy with the most toys. But I think, just plain and simply getting older and trying to perfect your craft. I mean, I don't know if the new album, speaks to you in that way, but certainly having made 4 records, I really think, our band's trying to uncover our own identity.
Right. Well, you guys are awesome. I have all of your albums. I especially love Rock Crown. That was my favorite. And you guys are just totally awesome.
Well,
I mean, your music
just
totally moves me, inspires me to I've been writing poetry and stuff like that. So
Really?
every time I listen to
keep
your
it up.
music.
What do you have? Do you have anything there? Come on.
Actually,
read us
I
one.
don't. I gave my notebook to my boyfriend actually, because he wanted to read it all. Because he's totally into poetry too.
Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy him while he's heterosexual. He's got about another 6 months left in him before he goes gay.
What's your song?
You want to do that?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You want to go make a call or something. All right. This is from the album we're just discussing, 7 Mary 3. All right. Drew, please, Mike. Each Little Mystery. That'd be called Each Little Mystery from Orange Avenue, 7 Mary 3. That's good. I know it didn't sound like I was listening, but...
It's a nice, sensitive song.
No,
yeah.
When you're not talking...
No, the band sounds real good.
He didn't talk.
I was reading. You read, you can hear.
You weren't reading.
I was reading.
You don't read?
I look at the words.
Okay.
Dude, he's thinking about his plane right now. He's not thinking about any of this.
I read... my problem with reading is I read to myself as fast as I read out loud. Does that mean you're kind of retarded?
You move your lips, too.
And my finger. Oh, pathetic. I had the funny situation. And my problem with reading is I will start at the line I began at the time before. I'll go around and then hop back. You know, I have like sort of a little dyslexia. I'm just sort of stupid.
It's like watching a first grader read.
Right. So here's my weird scene last night. I'm watching. My girlfriend insists we have to watch the Miss America competition. And for me, I enjoy sort of good, bad TV. And the Miss America competition is certainly that. It's real corny, and there's a lot of pomp and circumstance and everything. And here's the problem. I open a newspaper, I'm reading something, and I'm sitting on my sofa, and I'm sort of reclining, and I'm reading while the thing's on. And it's right at the point where they introduce the 55 candidates, or the 50, or, it must be 50, right? Can't be 55. Unless
it's Puerto Rico.
Well, Puerto Rico and Alaska or something.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Guam and...
Right. Virgin Islands or something. But the point is, there's 50-some-odd chicks. And they each go on for about 5 seconds. Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm Miss Virginia. You know, and they tell you their stance. Their stance is, children's rights or AIDS prevention. And then they step aside. So I'm sitting there with the paper in front of my face, and every time they say the chick's name, I have to peek over the paper to see what the chick looks like. I can't hear the voice and let one chick go by without taking a look because it's a beauty competition, and I have to take a peek. So I read one line from the paper, then the chick comes out, and then I peek over the paper, then I go back to the paper, read the line again, then the next chick goes up. I read the same line 55 times. I sat on the sofa for 45 minutes and read the same like I got like a quarter inch down and had to keep dropping the paper to make fun of the contestants. They're not real good looking, those Miss America women. I thought they had to be. Apparently not.
That's the more
Miss America
holistic thing, isn't it? The Miss America.
Yeah, they factor in like community service and talent and all that other nonsense. You know, please.
It's no Baywatch.
A puppy.
Yeah, right. All right, 703's here. We're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back.
I feel so liquidy. Really? Why?
You're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, I'll be right back. Loveline. Exclusively on Tucson's New Rock, 92.1 KFMA.
What's the real name? It's going to be good.
Man, believe it or not, my real name is Gurpreet. Gurpreet. I was born in Oxford, Mississippi. You can imagine the difficulty that folks down there had saying my name. So.
Hey, Guranimal.
Gurpreet calls us like John Smith.
Yeah, I mean, what were you?
An Indian.
What?
Gurpreet?
Yeah, that's it.
It's like John?
Pretty common name.
Like John?
Patel.
Yeah, it's not quite that common, but I mean, it's...
Is that your last name?
Gurpreet is my first name, actually.
And it was what did teachers call you?
Oh, they call me Giddy. I always knew it was me, because when they get to the K's and the alphabet, and then they just kind of like, after like, whatever comes before my name, like, Canops or something, then there'd be this lull in the teacher's cadence, and all of a sudden I'm going, okay, and I didn't know whether to help them,
right?
Because they'd be like, Giddy back here, and of course it's like the first day of school, and I'm wearing a turban, I look like a retard as it is. The kids are already laughing.
Oh,
like, oh God.
You're wearing a turban? Oh, that's the
rough. Rough stuff growing up, man.
Did you have to wear a turban in school?
Oh, yeah. I wore one until I was 17.
Oh.
Yeah.
How'd you get out of it?
I cut my hair, yeah. So.
Wow.
Traitor.
Yeah.
But,
how did you get your ass kicked all the time?
No, that's why I played in a rock band, man.
Wow.
It was the only way out.
Yeah, I guess nowadays if you wore a turban, they wouldn't know what to make you.
In a rock band, they'd probably think it was some statement.
Right. Yeah.
See, and to this day, my son, if you wear a turban now, you will stand out. My dad.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that.
Did your dad wear a turban?
Yeah.
Now, did your dad cut his hair?
No. No, I'm the only...
Now, what's the deal? Now, explain this, because I'm interested in this. Is this a Hindu thing?
No, it's actually... there's a religion called Sikh.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, sure, the Sikhs.
Yeah. And so... And it's basically a mixture of Islam, certain components of Islam, and then Hinduism.
Mm-hmm. And now, according to the Sikh doctrine, then you don't cut your hair?
Yeah, well, the whole thing is, God has given you this hair, so you shouldn't cut it, and it basically stemmed from back in the 1600s when Muslims were spreading Islam through India pretty violently. They were killing off a lot of Hindus if they wouldn't convert to Islam. So the Sikhs were formed, and one of the leaders of the Sikh religion basically said, one of the things we can do to identify ourselves or stand out, is to grow the hair and wear the turban, and then all people will know that, we will defend their faith kind of thing.
You basically wear the turban because your hair is so long, right?
Yeah, to keep it neat, keep it clean.
And you just sort of coil it up and put it in the turban, right?
Yep, that's the deal.
See, yarmulke wouldn't work with these people.
No, there's too much hair.
You couldn't stuff that kind of bun under a yarmulke. The yarmulke works good with the Jews because they're all bald right on the crown there. I swear to God, I think religions, they work with what they have. A lot of Jews have that bald spot right on the Shapiro had, and you put the yarmulke on there and you're in great shape, right? Okay, true. You don't know anything. Isn't it funny when you go? I think because we're in some kind of high holiday now, aren't we?
Rosh Hashanah, yeah.
They don't have any. Do they have any mid-level or low holidays at all? The high holidays?
No, Hanukkah's a mid to low.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
No biggie?
No.
It's always funny. You ever go to like a Jewish wedding or funeral, or you go to someone's house for Rosh Hashanah or something, and you got to put the yarmulke on there. Doesn't it feel a little weird? Like, here you go. People go, here, put this on, and you go, well, I'm not Jewish. And they go, put it on, and you go, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'll put it on. Hey, but before I leave, remind me, because I'm gonna go down to 7-Eleven with this on and get my ass kicked. You mind? All right. Veronica.
Hi.
You're 18.
Yeah.
What's going on? So how long did your hair get, Giddy? Did it get real long?
Yeah, man, my hair was like probably 2.5 feet long. You know what was cool though, man, is I went to a bar mitzvah when I was a young kid, and I had a turban, and I had to put the yarmulke on top of my little bean.
That's excellent.
It was pretty fun.
You had to put the yarmulke on top of the turban?
Yeah. It was pretty funny. See, I could spin it around, on top of the little ball on my head.
Well, when he got mad, he'd flip over. Oh, that's awesome.
True story.
Hey, Veronica.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I actually had a question.
All right.
How important is physical appearance to guys?
Well, from like 1 to 10.
I'm sorry?
You mean 10 being most important? 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Well, now you've set up a rating system where it's even broken down, Adam.
Yeah.
I want to see what Adam has to say before I...
Well, it depends. It depends what the guy looks like, and like you ever see that? Like you see like a really ugly couple.
Yeah.
And you wonder. You go, is he into her because he thinks she's hot, or is he into her because he knows he's fat and ugly and he's not doing any better, and therefore it's a sort of relative thing?
Uh-huh.
So, most guys are into physicality more than women are.
Yes.
And it is important to them. It's a priority. On the other hand, they're also extra horny. So they don't care. And as a matter of fact, I have found, and I hate to be cruel, but I found that a lot of my friends, I was just thinking about this earlier today, a lot of my friends are more attractive than their partners are, their female partners. A lot of my buddies, I think, are good-looking guys, and they have sort of, all right-looking wives or girlfriends. But I think the guys would be like 8s physically, and the girls are more in the 6 to 7.
Yeah, but your guy friends are sort of 4 on the losers.
They're minus 3.5 emotionally. Yeah. Right.
Women are very astute to that stuff.
Yeah, they're like Ted McGinley. That's what they look like, but they're retarded. Well, that's true.
Okay.
All right. So why, Veronica? Are you not attractive?
Well, I just have low self-esteem.
Oh, okay.
And I was just wondering, because I've never had a serious relationship, or actually, like, really not any relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering if it was something that repelled them when they at first, or?
Well, guys like good-looking women, but on the other hand, there's plenty of unattractive women who do just fine.
Right.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So I know, and it's frustrating when you see like a bunch of homely people dating and you're not.
Well, how old was she?
She's 18.
18.
Yeah, you work it out.
There's a lot that's gonna still happen.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still
It's
blooming to occur.
It's not about your looks.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right, thank you.
You're fine. Okay. I don't know. Is that a real important thing to you guys, for instance?
I think, you'd just be flat out lying if you said it wasn't.
Right.
As a man.
Right.
As a 25-year-old man right now, hell yeah, it's important. But depends where emotionally you are in the relationship. If you're right at the beginning of the relationship and it's in that kind of we're having sex all the time phase and you don't even really know each other yet, it weighs a lot more than 2 years down the road when you've both seen some pretty serious ups and downs, and then,
Then it's just that person.
Well, after a while, it just becomes the person. You don't know what they look like anymore.
Right.
Who the person is.
Right. It's just them.
Yeah.
This is who they are.
I know. It's kind of weird, but you can't stand back and get to that place where you don't know the person anymore, and then it makes it hard to judge them. It's like something that you got too close to, like a Gideon in the turban,
And the yarmulke.
And the yarmulke on top of the turban.
Men get really confused about that stuff, too, because you'll find the same man who might say he finds his partner unattractive getting so jealous if he sees someone else.
Different issue. Different issue, though. Yeah.
All right. We all deserve good-looking women, though. I think that's clear. Mike.
That's not what I put up there.
I don't care. Mike's 33. He's been on hold for 56 minutes, and we're about out of show. Will you test positive for pot if he's been around smoke? No.
If you're in a locked vehicle for 4 hours.
If you're carpooling with Spicoli.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Not even close.
All right, but then you're
fine.
fine.
The door jam, and these guys must have just finished smoking a bowl.
Don't worry about it.
You're fine. Okay.
Hey, one more question.
Yeah.
Is producer Anna babe?
Yes.
Really?
Hold on, where is she? Yeah, she is.
She sounds like she is.
No, she is hot.
I figured she was.
Yeah. She knows it, though. That's the big problem. Mindy.
Yep.
All right. So you started dating a guy. His penis is really big. She may. You don't want to have sex with him?
Well, no, that's not it. I don't know if I should or not, because, it's pretty big. It's as big as my forearm.
Didn't I just say that?
Forearm.
Yeah.
All right. I just said that. We don't have any time. All right. Well, why don't you start with oral sex?
Well, we did that. That's how I found out how big he was.
Uh-huh.
But
how'd that go?
It went pretty well. It just didn't get further than that.
Right.
I kind of got scared looking at that. It just kind of scared me.
Are you a petite gal?
Yeah, I'm 5'1".
Ooh. Well, how much you weigh?
115.
Yeah, that's pretty petite. Right. His penis weighs 85 pounds, so it's three-quarters of your body mass.
He's like 6'2". He's really big and stocky. He looks like a big bear.
All right, here's the deal. Mindy, you got to use lubrication. You get on top. You control the pace. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're going to look like a 115-pound salmon to that big bear. He's gonna ruin you. All right, we'll take a little break.
This is Loveline.
Loveline will be right back.
All right, that is it. Hey, Troubadour, Tuesday?
Troubadour, Tuesday night.
And all those other places you'll be. Now, check the paper, everybody. You'll find the 7 Mary 3. Orange Avenue is the name of the CD. Kitty's got to wash his hair, so we got to get going. It takes about 7 hours. Jason, Giddy, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
We do appreciate it. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
Mommy!
This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle. Now, please listen to this station longer.